And last time we left off, our crew had just been through a pretty hefty fight for them. Kind of took its toll. A few people are a little not a little bit worse for wear, and everybody's doing a little bit of resting. But you're still on the space station, and maybe we kind of come in on sort of like an overhead shot in the cargo bay. We see the jeeps, the hover truck, the computer equipment, a few, crates and what have you. We see the dead bodies of the Jinsol laying around. Um, and there, you actually have, let me find there it is, the handout for it. You actually, among them, um, for those of you looking around, uh, there are 4 tactical arc emitters, um, 1 Frostbite Class 0 pistol that's on the caster, 10 freebooter armors that need to be modified to be used by anything humanoid because Jinsol are not humanoid, 1 Estix suit 2 that also needs to be refitted that's on the caster, uh, and 10 batteries. They each have 2 batteries on them apiece. I have a master list, but I will get that to you, and I will turn that over to you once you've, sort of found everything that's here. But you're kind of like sitting around. You guys have met somebody new. That you're new person. You're getting new people like crazy because uh, first Zed joined, then Eternity 9 appeared randomly on the ship, and then Ohan just happens to be here where you guys were there. And from what you can tell and what he said, he happened to have just appeared here a few days ago. Um, you guys have managed to get into the computer. Last we looked, um, I forget who was doing the hacking. I know somebody was helping. I know there were 2 people working on it.
I was helping, and it was E9
All
was
right,
Right.
doing it.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we get E9 and we get AL sort of at one of the computer consoles sort of working through. Um, you do discover, like, from what you guys can parse through, the attack, when this place got attacked, it got hit pretty quick and pretty fast, or pretty quick and pretty hard. um, like the team that came aboard pretty much slaughtered everybody that was here, and there was a much larger team that was here. Apparently, these guys were sort of left here to keep an eye on things. Um, you know, from what you can tell, if the others are coming back, and if so, when, that's up in the air because none of you speak Jinsol, so as a language, so you can't exactly decipher what their transmissions are saying. You do note a few things. There are places where like systems have been turned off and turned down. You're actually reading a you're actually reading like a blockage in one of the service conduits, sort of one of the maintenance tunnels. Um, from what you can tell, there is a problem with the environmental controls in that section, but there's also like some sort of there's also something that's like attracting like the scanners that's just like registering um, as a foreign object.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I, my brain is thinking that object is causing the environmental dysfunction in the area, but that's just we need to find definitive proof if that's what it is
From what
and
you
investigate that area.
actually E9
And
and
then
AL,
if we can get copies of those transmissions,
Wait, sorry, what?
E9AL, you can tell that the environmental controls were purposely shut down at some point. Like,
Okay.
they were, like, it's not so much that there's a problem with them, they're just sort of locked out in that section for for the time being. Like, you guys can probably hack your way through it.
Is it logged as to when the change was made?
Yes, it seemed to have happened sometime after the Ginsol took control of the station.
After the gentle. Okay.
Yeah. Not long after, but, sort of in the time frame, you would guess that it would have had to have been after most of the security forces had been subdued, potentially. It might have, there's a window that it could have been like right at the edge of them finishing it, or like, you know, within a day or two of.
So there's some sort of like identifier as to like someone's like what kind of level account would be required to do something like this?
Um, it's going to require, it's probably going to require a lot more than what you guys have, like access than what you have right now. It'll probably be, to get any further, you're going to probably need like either one of the station command IDs or one of the security IDs. One of the not just like one of the either one of like the station command ID or the security command IDs. Um, you can try to
Okay.
hack your way through it, or you can try to look around for more information. But to get much more, you're going to have to do some hacking checks anyway.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. Do you want to help me as I do them?
Yeah. Allie is kind of just she has her own reasons as to why she wants to hack in.
Fair.
Probably just to see what she can play around with, honestly.
All right.
Like she's just breaking down the security like for those reasons. The other stuff is like more your interest at this from what you can tell from what she's doing.
Gotcha.
So, what is your approach here? Are you going to try to break into the files to unlock directly? Try to break into the file to unlock the environmental controls? Are you going to try to disable security first? Are you going to look around for other nodes and try to figure out what's in them? I mean, what's your approach here?
I think I want to go for disabling some security at first.
Okay. So, what is your avatar in sort of the Netscape look like? I don't think we've ever covered this.
That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Is it like like my video game character almost look?
Right. It would,
Kind of
it could be
okay.
whatever your digital symbol or little character or whatever looks like.
It's kind of like the avatars from the gaming community, like
Gotcha.
your
Right.
account avatar.
Yeah,
It's like it symbolizes who you are.
Gotcha.
exactly.
I'm not entirely sure. Can you give me a little to think about that? I haven't thought about that yet.
I don't think mine has changed. Mine is like just I think it's just an eye pupil like rainbow colored all the way through. I think if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I
go
would
ahead.
probably use this the symbol of whatever some sort of representative symbol of my religion.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Maybe we see that sort of glowing in the sort of infosphere contained space and what have you. So let me get the assist roll first, and then the main hacking.
Gotcha.
So the assist first.
Yep.
Okay.
And while they're doing this, what are Chess and Zed and Ohan doing? Chess, Zed,
We're gonna
you
go
yeah.
around and collect any leftover stuff from the bodies, inspect the buggies and the hover thing to see if they're operational, and maybe we have room to add to our ship.
Well, you can take one of the jeeps, or you could leave the exploration buggy and take the hover truck.
I need medical attention now. Please.
I mean, I need help too, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm just on the ground, like,
yeah. I think Dr. Oglehop is
got
probably
stabbed a lot.
yeah. Dr. Oglehop did a bunch of cures on you to bring you back up some. But yeah, he's probably checking you over, like whoa, like hey, he's like, you should probably not like let them shoot you or stab you.
Yeah.
Uh,
My
um,
little body can't take much more than that.
yeah. So you can either basically trade in the exploration buggy you already have and just take a hover truck and then have a hover truck, or you could keep the exploration buggy you've already got and take one of the jeeps.
Okay, what's the difference in capacity between the hover truck and the Jeep?
Well, let's take a look in armory because that's where the hover truck is going to be, and the jeep. So, do. Oh, those are grenades. That's not what I'm looking for. Drugs, medicinals, and poisons. Hover truck. Hover artillery. Armored space train. Mining rails. Armored train. Hover truck. So the hover truck is technically a level 5 vehicle. It can carry up to 4 people, but it is tougher. It's a little bit harder to drive. It does more damage if you crash it into things. It's got a higher EAC and KAC. Basically, it's going to drive like a fucking hover truck compared to like the exploration. It's going to be a lot less maneuverable than the other vehicles you've got, but it's going to be a lot tougher. It's not going to carry any more people than what you've already got, though. Jeep. The Jeep is a Jeep. It's going to carry 4 people, and it's probably, I think that one I got out of the, might have got that out of the core. But yeah, that's kind of what they've got in there.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
I think the little hover is kind of cool.
There's actually an ultralight turbo glider in there as well. Somebody was a hobbyist.
Grenville.
Well, Crenville's not here.
That's right. But the bike he was modifying should still be on the ship, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to take the exploration buggy, drive it out, and then drive the hover thing back into the ship.
Take a hover truck. It's not a tank, it's a truck.
I'm going to call it a tank. It looks like a tank.
Oh no, there is an actual hover tank, and you're not high enough level for it. That's a level 14 item. Shit, even the crew of the Menagerie is not quite high enough. They're almost a level up enough for a hover
Can we just
tank.
put it? Can we just figure out how to put it in neutral and just push it? I'm just kidding.
Okay. Hover truck then. And we'll drive that in there and let it sit in there. Gather up all the armor and the weapons so that we can have that. And we'll just whatever. And then I'm gonna go over and see what they're doing at the computer and get an update from them on what they know. What our next step.
So Ale, that's good enough for you to get the assist on there, and E9, that is good enough to be able to disable security. You can now move around in the system.
Nice. Okay. Then yeah, let's check out the weather control node. Is that another computer check?
The environmental.
The environmental. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be another computer check. If AL, if you're continuing to assist, we'll get the assist roll. That's good enough to give the bonus, then get the main roll.
I am sorry, my sexy gentleman. It appears I have missed the first 15 or so minutes. Are we buying a car?
You are not buying a car. You're still at the space station, and they are you're still buying they're trading in the exploration buggy for a hover truck that they found here.
Is there
So
a
technically,
convertible? Is there a convertible?
No, there is no convertible, but there is a turbo glider.
Woohoo!
because it's about the same size as as a motorcycle, and when it's broke down or whatever, you could essentially take that as well. But you can't have more. But that's about it.
Like, if anybody's interested in that glider, push it up in there. But I really don't care. I got this big truck.
Does the ultralight glider just give you a fly speed or something, or?
The ultralight turbo glider, basically, it's a low altitude vehicle. Ultralight glider doesn't afford its pilot and passenger environmental protection against the thin atmosphere of high altitudes. Pilot and passenger hang from minimal harness underneath this turbofan propelled wing, which is steered with dangling hand controls and by leaning. It basically speed of 300. It can go up to like 40 miles an hour flying.
So wait, how high off the ground is this thing?
The glider?
Like when it's in operation, yeah.
When it's in operation, I would assume you would operate it like you would a normal glider. You'd want to jump off of something very high.
Yeah, say it's like, does it mention that though? Like, is it conditional flight?
It doesn't. It does not have that condition.
But for the purpose of the game, would you have us like do something like that if we were to pick this thing up?
I would say that you could try to get to the air by other means, i.e., you could try to catch the wind coming off of the back of a vehicle or something. Like you could try to be like, oh, I'm going to ride on the top of the hover truck, and as soon as we get a bit of wind going, I'm going to try to take off from that. That would be a stunt that I might allow. Something like
so
that.
So does it propel itself? So there's a propulsion system.
Yeah, it self-propels, but I'm assuming you have to get it into the air first.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, so
just curious.
In any case, it's there. If that's a thing you want to take, it's there. But if not, it can stay there.
Could be fun for if you want to drop into a hot zone.
And E9,
if you want to be crazy,
right? You could definitely just be like, "Hey, we're gonna fly in, and we need to get somebody out that we need somebody to be stealth in while we land. We're gonna land, and we know that people are gonna be like, aha, we were expecting you. But what they're not gonna know is we dropped somebody off in this turbo-light glider once we got into lower atmosphere. He just ran up and jumped out the back of the fucking cargo hatch and glided on down. He's gonna be around soon. You don't know about him. He's there. He's our insurance policy.
Okay, so we're taking it for that sole purpose because that sounds fun.
And the person who goes in and does that is going to be the one that's caught. Like, I give up. I give up. Like, you're not supposed to do that. It's okay. I mapped out the entire place as they walk me through it.
So you are able to get into the environmental controls, by the way, E9 and AL. You guys managed to get yourselves. So you have the capacity to turn the environmental controls back on in that section.
Then I think that's what we should do, unless there's a reason not to.
Right? So you disabled security. I'm curious, did you take a look around in security at all?
AL would have.
Okay.
AL would have looked for anything that just didn't seem like it was necessary to kind of flip on
Okay.
and off just to see what they would do, basically.
All right. So looking around in the security files, you get sort of a list of like the people who would have had greater access to the computer stations and whatnot. You also notice that this file has been accessed after within the last couple of days, honestly. That somebody else was poking through this file, and it looks like they went into each security file and spent a little bit of time with each personnel file, particularly in the security personnel file. But the one they spend the longest on is the security director. And the security director's name. Oh, God damn it! I know I wrote this down. Is Commander Gallad. And Commander
So
Gallad.
what does this guy look like?
He's a human. He's got blonde hair. And that is sort of like it's styled well, but efficiently. It's like it's not over the top. It's just it looks nice, but it also looks professional. He could go, out to the clubs and then still be able to brush it out the next morning and, make it look nice for work. Not that he'd have much opportunity to go out to the clubs while stationed here, but you get the impression that he wasn't always stationed here. There is like a basically going through all of it. It looks like somebody basically checked all of the boxes on everyone but this guy.
So like essentially like AL is going through and like she like pauses for a moment like on the screen it'll show like probably E9 sees her do this and like she's like boring. Why would anyone spend this much time looking at this guy? And
Well,
she'll go to like take it off the screen unless E9 sees something.
Actually,
And,
give me a wisdom check, AL, real quick here. I want to see something.
Sure.
Actually, you know what? Give me a charisma check.
Three. I'm not charismatic.
I think there you're like there is a moment where
Killing it.
I can't hear him. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I think there's a moment where there is like Big Al's voice in the back of your head mentions something about to him, I mean, maybe not even cognizant of Allie, but there is something within Big Al that sort of recognizes a pattern here. Because he's the detective, right? So it would
Yeah.
make sense that he looks at that from his perspective. It definitely looks like somebody was making an accounting for everybody on this list, and this is the only person that wasn't accounted for.
Huh. Okay. So let's see here. How would Allie hear his voice? Let's see.
Maybe it's not even hearing the voice, just this tingling sensation from, wherever Big Al is in the mix, because that detective's instinct would probably be in there somewhere.
Huh. Look at these. Look at these check marks. One of these is not like the other.
Ooh, I see what you mean. This might require further investigation.
Really?
It appears to be, well, like you said, it is different from the others, and there must be a reason for that.
I know who'll know. Shady knows everything. Hold on. Like brings the panther over. See? Look.
Just
This guy's not checked off.
I see.
It's just the stuffed bear is just like this is a plush bear, guys. It's like a plush panther. It's just, but
like, yeah.
and she's like, uh-huh.
Chess, you
Yeah,
probably
that's right.
walk. This is probably about the time you walk back over. Is when you hear him like Allie being like, "One of these is not like the other."
So, what's the report, people? What do we got?
Shady thinks. Sorry, Shady. Hold on. Let E9 talk. Okay. I know.
Apologies. We have entered the computer system and successfully bypassed security. There appears to be an entry here that that is different from the others, and this is of note. We are trying to investigate and figure out what's different about it exactly, and understand the implications of it.
Okay,
What's
AO,
that?
what's Shady's opinion on this?
Well, okay. Hold on. Shady. Okay. Shady. Let's just say. Oh no, you don't think that they're all dead, do you? Really? That's horrible.
Yeah, E9. The
That's
only living things you've seen up until these people arrived was the Ginsel. Everybody else, there are a lot of bodies spread around this place.
That does make sense.
wait.
Yep.
So they're not all dead. Which one's still alive?
Then I suppose maybe the unchecked one is the one still alive.
That's what Shady said. Yes.
So there might still be a soul on this station that we need to go find.
Can we just scan the ship?
You
Not a
have
bad
control of the
idea.
security system. You could access the cameras too.
Yeah. So let's check out those cameras and see if we can't find any signs of life.
I was going to say from our ship, the Menagerie, we could just scan for life to see if there's any other life.
Oh,
and
that's
go
also
hunt it.
not a bad idea.
If there, so how long are you going to spend going through cameras? It's a fairly big station, and there are quite a few uh, cameras. And where are you going to start at?
I can help. Too bad looking through cameras.
Um. Okay, where are we gonna start? Probably. Are there any quarters inside the station?
Well, yeah, people live here.
Mhm.
Uh, there was a crew and a complement for this place.
Then in that case, I think I'll start in the residential areas of the station.
Okay. Uh,
Or also, or actually, is there like a brig or a prison, something like that here?
no, this was
Okay.
this is not like a station that kind of station. It was owned by the
Is that
Corvassian
like a
Condor Feder or the Corvassian Condor Unlimited. Um,
Mhm.
so what it essentially was like a way station for their ships when they were because they were a trading company as well, which is part of the reason why the Paper Leaf um, bought them out. But this station would have been used as like a place where their their freighters and whatnot would have stopped here to drop off merchandise and then head back to pick it up or to pick up more merchandise from the packed world while somebody else came from a different location and then picked up freight from there and then took it back to where it was going. It was kind of a hub type place. Um, and so there was a crew and a complement here. There just was there was very little in the way of weapons and very little in the way of like amenities here. There's a lot of cargo space, but and it looks like the Gensel have emptied most everything that was in inventory out of here, outside of what you've got in this particular bay. Um, going
Speaking of
over,
that, we need. Stress is going to ask: is there any likelihood of them Gym Z's returning? Have you guys figured that out in the computer system?
Uh, I suppose that's something we could look through the other nodes to see if they stored any information about that. Um, but for now, we have not discovered any information that would help us figure that out.
yeah, there's just yeah, their coding is in their own language, so it's yeah, you're gonna have to learn to speak Jinsol on the fly if you want to decode what their end of what they put in there.
Is there like a is the station connected to an infosphere? And if it is there like a Google Translate?
No and no. There
Gotcha.
is
That
basically its infosphere is itself. Infospheres are always unique to each planet and or station. There's no such thing as a
Right.
system-wide infosphere. Um,
Right.
the but no, there is no prior record of anything from the Ginsol before this.
what
Gotcha.
about in an encyclopedia program that just sits on most infospheres as a popularity thing?
Yeah, learning Ginsol is actually something you're gonna have to like work at. It's not something they just have. Hey, here's how to translate to this weird Arthroportian race that we really have very little contact with outside of violence.
Come on,
Gensels for
Jessica. Where's the
dummies.
Rosetta Stone? Where's the Rosetta Stone? Come on.
Gensels for
Would
dummies. Yeah,
VI know
guys.
Gensel?
Huh? Would
Would
your
the
VI?
VI on the ship know it?
No, no, I would not.
Ah, darn.
Wait. What about the people who can like talk through their minds? Couldn't they understand Gensels just by
No,
speaking to them?
you still have to share a language in most cases, and they're all dead. So, and telepathy does not allow you to understand a language
they got
off of a
necromancy?
screen. um, as you're like, you don't, as far as the cameras go, the the quarters are pretty standard. There are probably slightly better quarters for the station commander and the security commander. The security commander's room is it looked like it was tossed apart, but from who you're not entirely certain. But facial recognition, as you come across bodies of people in various places, start lining up and matching up with, the personnel files. Like identification, da 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 da, job, blah, 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 pay, blah, 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 length of contract, such and such, but you're still not finding the security commander, Commander Gallad. Zed, you were going, or who else was running through cameras?
I was
You were. Where are you going to start at?
probably look at any like security blocks. Do they have anything for basic security where they keep like weapons and stuff?
They have a small armory and security station. Um, it looks like the armory has been raided already, and the security station looks like it just kind of it's sitting there. There's some bodies around it, but otherwise, it's
Yeah.
there's a maybe like a round like a semicircle console like in the middle of like the room where whoever's on duty at security would stand and monitor things. And then there's a few like panels to the sides and on the walls and whatnot here and there that obviously whoever was in security could probably pull up different cameras or monitor different ship systems.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Al, were you any particular place you wanted to look first?
Look in the hangar bay to see if he was escorted onto a ship and pulled away from the station.
So
Okay.
you want to go through? You want to go through like old footage?
I was gonna say, can we go through old footage?
Yes, you can. It
Can we
takes.
search by ID? Like if there was like a facial recognition of this, or even like a ship that's tied to his identification?
Well, it's not quite that high tech that it can just in the middle of facial ID and whatnot. I mean, you've got like his file up with a picture. Watching through it, you should be able to go. Wait a minute, huh?
Right. So
Slow that
that's why
down
I
and
was
back it up.
wondering, like, if his like if he has a ship tied to his identification, so we can just see him get off of a ship, see him get on a ship, and then just kind of
No, he doesn't have
find
any.
the
He doesn't have a ship
later
tied
study.
to it. No, he was stationed here, so he doesn't have like a personal ship or anything.
Okay.
He the like it takes you a while, but you kind of find out like watching through the video and whatnot. You see the attack like from different angles. Like the ship, there were several ships that came in hard and fast and hit this place. Pretty much overwhelmed the defenses. Um, from what you can tell, once the Gensol managed to gain access to the station, it was pretty much slaughter. This is not a military installation, and this was a military force. They came prepared. There were probably at least, there might have been about 100 people stationed max on this thing. Well, there's space to station about 100 people. There probably weren't 100 people, and maybe probably more like 20 to 30 people. But you watch the attack go down. Very few of them were security officers, and they weren't prepared for this. The one person you see him put up a decent enough fight, but most of the people who are just here as like deckhands and what have you, or engineers, they're taken by surprise and killed fairly quickly. The Jin Soul do a lot of like jumping like really far, really fast, and then skewering people with those blades that you guys had so much time with. Um, and however, like you finally manage to catch a glimpse of the security commander. Um, as he is, fighting a retreat, he sets up like something like he goes to an access panel and sets something up, and runs off. And when the Jinsoul start coming through chasing him, they get about to that panel and it explodes. He ducks around a corner. And if you're using the cameras to follow, if you're using the footage to follow where he goes, that's easy enough to do. You watch him kind of run down and manage to duck his way into into an environmental tunnel, an environmental shaft, and then watch the Jinsoul go by. And the Jinsoul apparently spent a lot of time looking for this guy, but he starts going through all of the access tunnels, all the ventilation, all of this, and finds his way down into the maintenance tunnel right about where you're pretty sure you're reading an obstruction. You see that he's kind of crawling around down there for a while, and then you see a force field activate in front of him, and then you see a force field activate behind him, and he's kind of stuck there. And then you sort of watch as basically you can tell after a while that the environmental controls have shut down, because you see his he's wearing this regimental dress armor, which means it's almost like a fucking dress uniform for the military, but it's stylized and what have you. And you see the little force fields and stuff for the environmental protections go on and what have you. And he sits there for the next 24 hours while unable to move or get out. And eventually the batteries on the environmental protections run out, and you watch him slowly die in that fucking juncture, in that maintenance tunnel.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we know what happened to him.
Although that regimental dress armor does look pretty sweet, and it does look like he's got a decent little pistol on him too.
Whatever happened on this base died with him down there. Who's willing to go after it? Big Al says after it seemingly during the video, Allie was really uncomfortable watching it. She just kind of slowly drifted off, and Big Al just kind of slipped into it.
All right.
All right. Let's go get it. Who cares? He's dead. He ain't gonna need it.
All right.
Is there anything else on this?
Yeah,
value?
we haven't turned on the environmental protections yet.
Yeah, you have.
we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You had access to it, so you were able to do that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So basically, you get down there, and you're able to release the force fields because you have control of security. You'll have to peel him out of it, and you'll have to strip the armor off of him and the weapons and whatnot. But he has a regimental dress armor, and he's got a let's see, god damn it, I just closed that. He's also got a cylindrical lens pistol, so a decent little laser pistol. And when you go to take the armor off of him, you realize the armor has a quick release sheath on the inside of the sleeve on the right hand, and there is a Frostbite Class 0 knife in the quick release sleeve sheath.
Nice.
But the armor itself, it's all white and gold with condor patterns all over it, and really I mean, this was a custom job. This, you're pretty sure that the company didn't have this made for him. He had this made for himself.
How does someone afford that?
Yeah.
Well, if you're made head of security on a space station, I'm pretty sure they pay you quite well.
Do they?
I don't know. I've
So
never worked for a corporation, so I'm guessing they do.
yeah. I think Dr. Oglehop probably says, "Hold on, let me do something here real quick." And he goes, "I wonder if, as fancy as it is," he kind of starts looking at he's turning the pistol over in his hand, and he looks at it and he goes, "Hey, look at this! There's writing on this thing."
And it says what, dude?
It
What
says
does it
waste.
say?
It says waste not.
By the way,
Waste not.
the quick release knife, is that like an operative kind of weapon? Is it good for
The
operatives or no?
So the quick release sheath is attached to the armor, and the
Okay, I
quick
got you.
release sheath will allow you to bring a weapon that is in it to your hand as a swift action. It can only hold small, like light
So
weapons of less than one bolt, but
it's just a sheath. I got you.
yeah,
I was wondering if it
the
was like a
the
weapon. But...
the weapon that's actually in the sheath right now is a frostbite class 0 knife. Uh, Armory page 9. I believe it's an advanced melee weapon, one-handed. So anybody who actually can use a one-handed, uh, anybody who can use advanced melee weapons, which I believe chess maybe can. I don't know.
Chess is the
Arcelorians.
highest level.
Well,
So.
it's more about like are Solarians proficient with advanced melee weapons?
I don't recall. I'm trying to look.
I think so because very few classes actually have training beyond the basic weapons. And I think
Right.
Solarian might be one of the two in the starting book.
I know soldiers do,
basic.
obviously.
Yeah.
Weapon proficiency is basic and advanced melee weapons and small arms.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yes,
So yes, you
There you
could
go.
use this. It is but you'll want to look it up. It's on page 9 of the Armory.
you said the 0 knife frost whatever something.
Frostbite class 0 knife. And the cylindrical lens pistol is on page 14 of the Armory. And I think Dr. Oglehop stops for a
I
second,
mean, I don't have a melee weapon.
and he starts chanting for a minute, and passes his hands over the stuff, and he goes, he goes, "The pistol's magic."
I'm sorry?
He's like, "It's a magic pistol, man." And he's,
Magic.
Does he know what magic is?
yes, he does. He's a mystic.
He's a doctor.
I'm a doctor, damn it.
He's
Not
a
a
doctor.
magician.
No,
Explain what kind
he's
of
a
magic.
he's a biohacker and a mystic. He's a multi-class.
Oh, he's good.
Dr. Oglehop may seem like he's a bit out there, but he's actually quite proficient at what he does.
He's out. Yeah, I'll take his word on it. Does he know what kind of magic, or is it like somebody else's? Or E9 asked. I want E9 to get the answer.
Well, those of you with mysticism and the spell detect magic can try to
I was
identify.
going to say, I have tech magic.
And I'm sure you
So
have
roll mysticism.
Yep, mysticism. And Zed, go ahead and make a mysticism
damn it.
roll if you want to try to. It seems to have some sort of fusion on it. I just need you to roll 13 or better on mysticism.
There he goes. There's the boy.
All right.
Ooh.
Zed, this thing has a conserving fusion on it. Basically, whenever someone fires this and misses, it doesn't expend any ammunition.
Ooh.
Does Zuma want that?
What's it do? It disperses the ammo?
Well, if you shoot somebody and it misses, it doesn't use the ammunition. It doesn't use ammunition for that shot.
If
Beautiful.
nobody else wants it, that's... Well,
And cylindrical lens pistols are pretty decent. I think they're like a level 4 pistol.
But
so
it is.
at the risk of sounding like a dick, who's got the lowest dexterity, so is that most risk of missing?
That's not a bad idea of throwing that. So, I'm rolling a 15. What do you get?
I got probably a high dex because I'm an operative, guys. So
So
I'm off
you're
the
not
table
getting
on
it.
this.
Who else?
I have a 17.
14.
I think I also have I think I'm also sitting pretty at a 14. Yeah, 14.
Take it. You're at 1, right? Or no, it's 14, 15. Right? Okay, never mind.
And
I mean, it don't matter.
it's called waste not. So I know it's a little on the nose, but what are you gonna do?
It's beautiful.
Not everybody who names weapons are the most creative people.
I'm
Let's
sure we'll come
see.
across a pistol named Larry.
I thought down the side of this thing it was going to say Desert Eagle 2.0.
Eh,
Okay, so what kind of weapons do you currently got?
I got a bone pistol.
So wait, what was the one-handed weapon again?
You probably need an upgrade.
The
Maybe, yeah.
Was it
So
the
let's-
spark knife?
so let me.
The
Here we go. You guys should now be able to see a handout called loot.
Okay, let me.
I'm not seeing it.
There it is.
It's not
I saw
showing
it.
up. It's not
it's
showing up for me for whatever reason.
It's on
probably
the
has to
screen.
load.
I saw it on the
I was gonna say if you just look at the stream,
okay.
I cheat and look at your stream every once in a while.
He's putting our
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
names
Gotcha.
down to show it on the screen.
Why am I doing that? Why don't I just hit the one
I bet
button?
it kind of takes some time to update.
All players. Players. There we go. Boom. Now you should be able to see
Show
Just
that.
off.
copy and pasting.
Yay!
There it is.
So wait, we just have to click on the sheet now and then find the loot.
No, and
yeah,
that'll
that
tell
sounds
you.
fair.
And it's got page
Browse
numbers for
by-
stuff, so you guys can find what you're.
Alright.
So you guys can find it to find the stats and what have you.
9. Okay. That's 0.
But yeah, you probably need it because I have a fire pistol. What is it called?
Yeah, that is an
The-
I could use that as an operative weapon if
You'll
anyone
have
else,
to. Yeah, I was gonna say you're still gonna have to spend a feat to gain proficiency with advanced melee weapons, but the operative property allows you to use your dex bonus instead of your strength bonus for attack rolls. So it's probably still super advantageous to you for a melee weapon.
What is my current weapon, which is the baton?
And I think that knife has a critical hit effect, maybe. I don't remember. Page
Yeah,
nine.
it does. It has a C on it for critical, I think.
C is cold. It does cold damage.
Is it? Oh, yeah, cold damage. I got you.
Yeah, the
Critical staggered is what it
dagger.
is.
Ooh, yeah. So if you hit somebody with that, they got to make a saving throw, and if they fail their saving throw, they're staggered, which is a good
Like I
thing.
know, Big Al's expressing an interest because he's more of a melee person than guns. He doesn't really use guns. So I guess Big Al's kind of like looking at chess. Like, does Chess want it?
Is anyone interested in the S-Tech suit 2?
The Aztec or the Aztec?
The
Aztecs.
S-Tech suit 2.
We still got to remodify it so it'll fit you, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe so.
Is
And
it probably
the
wouldn't impact me.
okay, Stress contemplates the knife, but she prefers shooting from a distance. And if you're more advantageous at a melee combatant state, she would indicate that you might be best to utilize that knife.
And
You're gonna take
like
until you spend a feat to become proficient with it. You'll take the non-proficiency penalty.
non-proficiency penalty.
-4.
So like how do I get like I just have to level up to get the feat, or how do I get the feat for something like that?
Well, once you get, if you have a free feat, you can actually take the feat that allows you to have proficiency in advanced melee weapons, and then you have proficiency in all advanced melee weapons.
Hold on, let me double check if I took that. I don't even remember. Go to character.
Is anybody interested in the frostbite class Euro pistol? Mentioned
That's a
it yet?
pretty solid goddamn pistol too.
So
I
wait.
mean,
Is there two pistols, or is
yeah, there's
there?
a cylindrical lens pistol and then the
So
frostbite.
Is a
frost,
cylindrical lens in a book?
the
Yeah, Armory page
cylindrical,
14.
exactly. Yeah,
Is it
I've got.
armory?
Armory page 14.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, I should ask, can my character who's level 3 use the 5th level S-Tech suit too? Or would I have to wait on that?
No, you can use it.
Okay,
You're
cool,
level
yeah.
3. It's a level 5, so that's 2 levels. I allow that.
Okay, cool.
So
Yeah, then if no one else is interested, I would like that, please.
What kind of weapons did the creatures carry?
that's
were
the
they just like
tactical. That's the tactical emitters.
okay?
The 0 class frostbite pistol was the spellcaster, but all the tactical emitters were, and those are long arms. All of those were the ones that the soldier ones were carrying.
Okay. So I'll
I
take.
mean, to be honest, Chess is still pretty set with armor and weapons and whatnot. She's pretty good, so the rest of y'all need to upgrade y'all's stuff.
So where is that the frostbite pistol?
Frostbite pistol, I believe, is in the core.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I forgot to put in the page numbers for the stuff that's actually in the core. And everything else.
That's
That's heavy weapon.
not gonna be hard to find, really.
Should be. That's on page 173.
Honestly, you can just Google half of these weapons
That's
and it'll
true.
come up.
That's true. You know, just use the technology at fingertips.
We have technology.
The tactical arc emitters are on page 176.
So Yeah, it's D6 cold damage for the frostbite pistol with staggering critical effect.
All right, and I have to find.
I got a D4 fire pistol is what I'm currently running with. So what you guys are running with?
Who's taking the regimental dress?
Is that heavy armor?
It's light armor. It's
Okay, wait, hold.
and you can redesign it to look however you want it to look. You don't have to. I mean, I just like the idea of like making it look fancy and shit because I just had this vision in my mind of the way this guy probably looked in his armor.
Is this the level 3 version?
Yes, it is the lower level version.
Gotcha.
But I figured, and those Freebooter 1 armors can be redesigned to fit you guys too if anybody else still needs armor upgrades.
Oh,
I'm gonna take 2 of the batteries.
Oh yeah, I will also take 2 of the batteries.
I mean, kind of just share that around. Eh? Two each, right?
Yeah,
Was
two
it that
batteries
number?
each should work.
Yeah, because it's 10 is 2 times 5.
Can you? Quick question. Can you recharge those? Is that a thing?
Yeah, the
Yes,
batteries
you can
are
even
rechargeable.
you can recharge them on your ship, or if you're not on your ship, there are battery charging stations that they have, in most cities and what have you. So it is a thing.
Right. I figured. But yeah, who wants those pistols?
I mean, I'm
E9?
I'm specialized in small arms. I know I can take one if no one else is gonna take it, but I'll
Like,
it's okay. I just got
what's
the
your
knife,
pistol damage output right now?
so fire damage 1d4 with burn
You're
damage
same as me.
at
You
25.
got a flame
Yeah.
pistol, right?
Flame pistol, yeah.
Yeah. So E9, what you got?
I'm using long arms. I'm using azimuth laser rifles right now.
So you probably
Yeah, no. I looked at the tactical arc emitters and I don't think they're good for me because they're too short range for me.
Do you get +5 to that?
Yeah, they are rather short range. They're 15.
Mhm. Indeed, I'd like to stay at longer ranges.
They're decent little skirmish weapons, but
what are
not
they?
skirmish. The tactical arc emitters,
The
they're
Well,
long
tactical arc
arms.
emitters. Yeah, they
okay.
basically just blast a 15-foot cone in front of you.
Yeah, my
Um,
weapons
Can't touch
specialization
that
is
with a
basic
10-foot pole.
melee, small arms, and sniper. I don't know if that. Just the last
Yeah,
one
there's
is at
no.
a disadvantage, I believe.
Yeah, advanced melee weapons are not within the. You'll have to spend a few for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, operatives they tend to think of operatives in sort of like a very traditional kind of sense, light weapons or sniper. They kind of tend to think of them like spies and assassins almost.
I refuse.
You refuse.
I want to defy the expectations.
You defy the expectations. Nice. Well,
So
then
Han, what's
spend a feat to be able to use some other weapon that the operatives don't use. It's a thing you
Fair,
can
fair,
do.
fair.
It's a thing you can do. Um,
what's your damage output, Han?
On what? Wait, who are we talking to?
Ohan.
Oh, Han,
Ohan, yeah.
my hand. I mean,
What was the question?
what's your damage output currently? Or
Uh,
you high level?
I mean, I assumed I was taking the lens pistol.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so right now it's the
So
D8.
you're doing good.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm happy.
Allie, that's up to you. If you want that other pistol, that's fine with me. I can get or Big Al now. Sorry.
I mean, like, what are you getting right now? Do you know what you're getting?
If I don't beyond that, I wouldn't be getting anything, which is fine.
No,
I'm
you should get it.
Because I'm mostly a spellcaster anyway.
Oh, I see.
So,
saying.
like, I mean, or unless you have another
Are
weapon.
you getting any of the armors?
What's a freebooter armor even do?
Freebooter Armor 1 is not bad. It's definitely better than Second Skin.
Okay, so I might be refitting that.
Yeah, Freebooter 1, that's going to be page 197 of the core. Basically, +2 to EAC, +3 to KAC, max dex bonus of +4, no armor check penalty or speed adjustment, no upgrade slots.
That's fine. Don't have any upgrades yet, so yeah, probably end up redoing one of those.
Yep,
I
so,
currently only have two pistols. Like I have a flame pistol and I have a
Laser pistol?
normal laser pistol.
Same, yeah.
So I mean, I'll get the next one.
All right.
I
okay,
mean,
good.
at the
You
end of the
guys,
day, if people are inserted, we can always just like, I mean, I don't know how like selling would work, but that's always an option on the table. Or break it down into UPBs. Is that a thing?
yeah, you can. You get 10% of what its of what its original cost is in UPBs.
I would just use it.
There you at.
I would just use it.
I don't
Well,
think we've gotten
I
to
think
the
he's
point where we
talking about.
have equipment to worry about it like that.
I think he's talking about the tactical arc emitters and the extra freebooters, the extra
yeah.
freebooter armors and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The extra shit you guys aren't using.
I'm definitely not going to touch an arc emitter, and I'm serious. I'm pretty sure I have to levitate the end of it out with like my mind, and then just kind of
Right.
blast it.
You're
Doesn't work very well.
probably better off with the small arms. That's what.
In fact, it'd be hilarious to see the recoil on that.
Cylindrical lens.
Pistol.
Okay, so you mentioned that breaking down a weapon or item gives you 10% of its cost in UPBs. Is it the same thing for selling an item?
For selling
10%?
an item, it varies. You won't get full pricing credits out of it.
Gotcha.
But it kind of depends on where you're selling it, what kind of weapon, how commonly available, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
There might be some backwater wash worlds that you could get really good prices out of them, but most other places you're probably going to be lucky to get 50% at best.
Well, I mean, 50% is a lot better than 10%.
It's on page 14.
And here's the thing: you're also going to end up getting paid for this job too, so you'll have you will have some credits to spend on some things if you want to get some extra stuff.
That is true.
So
So
those
what
of
does
you
it
who
mean
didn't,
by unwieldy? What is that going to mean?
so
I
unwieldy,
believe that means you can't take a full attack with them.
yeah, basically there is no way to attack more than once in a round with an unwieldy weapon. You pretty much just attack the one time. I know a lot of sniper rifles, particularly in the core, have the unwieldy property, what have you. But and there's a few like melee weapons I think as well. But I don't know. It depends on how badly you want to use multiple attacks. For operatives, you can't use your trick attack and do multiple attacks at the same time. Even when you get up to the point where you can make the extra attack, you're still taking at least some penalty. But unwieldy weapons just can't do that. But where you guys are at, kind of looking around, this is kind of all you're able to really find of any intrinsic real value. The station technically now belongs to Paperleaf Tea Trading Company because when they bought Corvassian, Corvassian Condor Unlimited, they, obviously got all of their physical, assets as well, which is why they sent you out here. They're like, this is an asset we
So
need.
my next question is on the body of the that guy that died. Did he have any personal effects on him? Possibly things that like that he was trying to protect during the attack that he kept with him.
I don't know if necessarily anything that he was particularly trying to protect. Probably more an issue of probably just like stuff that you would normally find in somebody's pockets.
Okay.
Like he's got his security, ID badge, but you guys have already disabled the security system. So you've already broken into security, so
Gotcha. Alrighty. Just wondering if he had any communication, like that he was carrying around that he was passing it off to someone.
nope. Nope, he didn't exactly have time for any of that. You get the impression that he might have tried to, send out a distress or something. But outside of that,
Alrighty. So I guess I'll take the cylindrical lens pistol, and I'll take the frostbite class 09. And I'm not sure the armors are going to be any help for me because it might hinder my dex. So
no,
I don't
the
think
free.
they did.
What is your dex bonus?
I think I currently have, let's see here, carbon skin graphite, and that already like takes one off of my it says max dex is 4.
Right. Okay. All right. Just checking. But this is about, that's about all you can really find around here. I mean, there's maybe transcript. There's
No,
maybe
just signaling to the party that I'm probably not
Oh,
going to be.
how do you convert that to body shape? What does it take to do that?
I
to.
imagine just if you
Oh,
use
yeah. It just takes. You're good.
CVs and some time in the tech workshop.
It's just going to take you some time in the tech workshop.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Extend that.
But yeah, you've kind of cleared this place, so.
Is there any way to establish communications on here, or is it just pretty
It's
much?
not anything that's going to reach them. Like you're going to be able to go back there as quick as any communication is. It has to be. There's no subspace. It has to be carried from place to place. So you pretty much have to wait until the next ship arrive to pick up messages and then go back that way. And as far as you know, there are no more ships coming this way until until you
Should
guys give the
we-
all clear.
Jeez. All right.
All right. So then, are we done here?
Just as quickly as the menagerie knocks down the door, we leave the door wide open.
We turn back around and the entire place is just barely standing. It's been looted to pieces.
Oh yes, I don't think anyone mentioned it, but if no one else is gonna take it, I'll take the ultralight glider thing.
If
We
it'll
already
fit on
put
the
a
ship.
ship.
I thought
Yeah.
Chess was like on board with stealth missions being used with it. I think
Oh,
that's what I
okay.
remember.
Right.
Yeah, it's on the ship along with the cover truck.
Cool.
All right.
Dope.
Cool. So,
So, if y'all are done, let's get back on our ship and go report back and let the dude know what we found.
It's like, oh look, everything's still intact, and like someone just like
dude,
unscrews a panel and walks off with the panel.
your contact was Jalen Starwardsburg. Yeah, so
Yeah. So we fly back to him.
her.
Ah.
Jalen is female.
and Big Al's throwing up on the ride home.
Yeah, so let me get a piloting check here. And do you guys like
You got your bucket, fly.
and Chess, you've only known eternity for a few days. You've known Ohan for a couple of hours, maybe at this point. Nice.
Yeah, Tress is like, all right, well, you guys are part of this crew now, so deal with it. We'll figure out where you go based on your abilities when you get in here. Technically, I think I have a plan for eternity, but hey, we need to get to know Ohan a little bit better to figure out where he's going to sit.
Going to need my own private quarters. Now, if you'll excuse me, Ohan is going. Is the ship open?
Yeah, I'm assuming you guys went back
I mean,
to the ship.
we're all on the ship because I
you're
just
on the
did a
ship.
piloting check.
Yeah.
So Ohan's going to. He's got one of those old school sensors, and he lights it up, and he just starts walking around the ship as he does essentially the equivalent of space throat singing.
Okay.
Wow.
I love Scott's reaction.
That is a beautiful noise.
That was great. He's
Beautiful,
still dying.
beautiful
He is
singing.
still dying. That's just awesome.
Ah, yes. The pure sound of our doom.
I've never heard such beautiful noises. How do you emit such beautiful noises?
Through many months of training. Now, do not interrupt the blessing. Your ship has been destabilized by many occurrences of time and space fluctuations. I'm going to realign not only your ship, but your spirit as well.
Interesting.
Little did he know that was the last kick that left this ship fall into its doom.
And Ohan, after it only takes you guys 2 days in travel because you're going back to Absalom Station, but during this time, it's enough for you to notice that the goblin that doctor or whatever, when he's on the ship, he mostly just wanders around in his bathrobe, a pair of short, like his bathrobe, his boxers, a t-shirt, and somehow still carries his biohacker kit with him, his custom micro lab with him, and his injector pistol. But he generally that's how he wanders around the ship. So,
In the search for the mystery case of the girl, he went to the doctor for help. Desperation from nausea. You gotta help me, Doc. I gotta kick this nausea problem, Doc.
It's like, oh, so like I have this tea. You want a drink? Just hold on a second. Like he goes over. So like he opens up his micro lab, and he like pours a couple of like chemicals together here and there, and like does it. And he takes it. He scratches his chin. He reaches into like his pocket. He pulls out some sort of herbal substance and crushes it up real quick and throws it in there. And then stirs it up, sniffs it. Then he goes. He's like. Then he takes just a little bit pinch more of something else, and he drops a little couple of drops in, and hands you a cup of this tea. He goes, put a little peppermint in it so it tastes nice. Drink that.
Uh,
Are you gonna
thank
drink?
you.
Drink
Looks
it,
over
drink
to his right and sees the big brain. Say, like, "You gonna drink that?" I'm,
That
I'm
one.
gonna
Ohan's
give
gonna
it a
peer.
shot. And
Ohan's
so,
gonna peer around the corner of a door because he wants to see where the fucking mouth is on this thing.
You and me both.
okay, so
I'm guessing
so
it's where the split is.
Big Al's
Ooh.
gonna take a drink of this. How is this gonna go?
It tastes minty.
Does
And it after a
taste
few minutes,
minty?
yeah, it tastes minty. After you drink a
Does it
little
taste
bit of it,
nice?
yes, it tastes nice. And after you drink a little bit of it, there's a slightly earthy tint to it, but not bad. But all tea has at least a slightly earthy tint. Otherwise, it's not tea. The But after you drink a little bit of it, you start to feel a little bit better.
Huh. Can I get that in bulk? Honestly, that really did help. Honestly.
He's like, well, we'll need a few things for me to do it in bulk.
Get you
I
a
mean,
big old keg where you can put it in like a barrel or something. I don't know.
Right? But I think we guys.
I want to spend these 2 days getting to know Eternity and Ohan so I can figure out what good position they would be on the ship.
Right on.
good job.
So, is there any specific way you go about this? Do you just summon them up and be like, "Hey, let's talk," or do you try to find
So, what you
something,
like?
or do you just find some excuse to just hang out and whatnot, or do you be like, "Hey, come have a beer with me," or how does this look?
She's gonna be she's gonna go find where their rooms are. If that's where they hang out or wherever, and she's first gonna go to Eternity 9 and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
so we need to find a position for you on this ship."
I am a skilled engineer and computer worker.
That was my thoughts from this last week or so that you've been here. Technically, that's pretty much where I was going to think to put you. You know much about Ohan, or should I just go talk to him?
I would suggest go talking to him to see what he would prefer.
Yeah.
To be clear, would you rather me on engineering, or would you prefer I be a science officer?
Oh, we have Zed as the science officer. I was going to put you in charge of engineering.
Perfect. I will be a good engineer for this ship.
Okay. And then I'd go find Ohan. Ohan? I'm bad with names.
Han or Han?
Han.
Okay.
Like,
So, being that he's the newest person and I haven't spent any time with him, I'm like, okay. So you're on a space station. That must have been fun.
Yes. Don't have a random corner with those insets still burning off.
Well, I come to talk to you to figure out what position you would be admirable to be at on this ship, and what vacancies I have, and what skill sets you have to be best utilized on this ship.
In my previous employment, I found myself in charge of more mystical elements of the ship. However, I'm also a practiced diplomat, but my skills, they are limited. I have a certain understanding of this universe as well as many others, but I seek to expand that knowledge with every passing day, but I am still a novice at this time.
Yes. Hence is why I was personally leaning towards, making you the chief mate, making the abilities to make everybody feel better type thing, using diplomacy and whatnot.
Well,
You're
that's
gonna
not
be
what
with the
Chief Mate
computers too.
does. Chief
Isn't Chief
Mate,
Mate the one that kind of runs
yeah,
around and like
yeah,
makes everything better?
the
So
Chief
like
Mate,
doing everything
Yep.
basically.
mechanically, the Chief Mate uses athletics and acrobatics.
Which is not something I can do.
Wow.
That'd be something I'm more geared towards. But you guys are using me for piloting.
Right.
What's your piloting?
My piloting is, let's see here,
We-
11. It's 3 ranks, 11 modifier.
So
I'm hearing that you're trying to offer him the position of chief mate.
who's
He
got the highest
suggests dropping him
computers?
off at the next space station.
So,
We need to kind of like optimize ourselves
well,
here, I think.
here's the thing. Magic Officer is a thing, and Magic Officer, and you don't have anybody in the Magic Officer slot.
That's true.
And that's kind of what he was
That would
saying
be a
he's
good
good
spot.
at.
Oh, okay. So that might be better. Well, there's always a magic person. I forgot we don't have anybody there.
That was my title and position aboard the Fool's Errand. I will require my own quarters, of course.
Isn't good where we each have our own?
Yeah.
Or is that?
The bathrooms are dormitory style,
Yeah.
so like 2 rooms will share a bathroom or whatever, but it's that you all have your own room, so you don't have to sleep in one big common room.
Hold up. Who's sharing a bathroom with whom?
You guys now get to know the pleasure of not being able to use the bathroom for the first 3 hours of the day as you have a chanting monk sitting in there.
I keep all my chanting to the engine room. Thank you very much.
So Oha will say, "Terrific!" and he's immediately going to grab his things and he's going to move into his room, promptly lock the door, and then sweep it for bugs.
Well, I can tell you nobody has set any bugs up on here, so yeah.
what are you talking about? We had bugs on the ship, right?
No, I know you bugged something else, but not the ship.
Oh,
You know,
I see what you're saying.
that's because it was on Patella. You bugged like one of the like bars there because you were trying to gain
No,
information.
I
He
am
was saying
literally
bug.
actually
Like
insects.
insect, like
I
affecting
realized what
themselves.
he was saying when he says bugs after you said that, but
Ah.
I initially thought like actual bugs,
Oh no.
which I mean we had but or
Tis,
on the
yep, I remember now.
Tis.
Yep, that makes, yep, I get you. Damn it.
Oh, something else to say to both of you. There is a virtual intelligence thing. I think it's a dinosaur at the moment, or
Yes.
unicorn, or something.
It's a dinosaur.
It wanders around, let's say to eternity and Ohan, and be like, if y'all ever get thirsty, just ask him for a drink and he'll bring you a drink.
Truly a terrifying being.
Sounds like an interesting personality. I will be sure to greet it properly at a later point.
E9's met
Yeah,
met
no, you do it
met him
appearance.
already.
Oh,
They had
yeah,
that whole
yeah,
thing with the
Huh?
recording when he was going through what happened with the gap of
That
time or
is
something
right.
like that.
You are correct.
Yep.
My bad. Totally slipped my mind.
Yep.
Retro.
Yep.
Like, don't get used to the appearance. That changes every now and then. I'm not really sure what happens, but it changes, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, and you managed to get back to the Absalom station without a whole lot of incident, other than whatever incidents you caused each other.
hmm
The
Well, now that Big Al is comfortable with the motion, he's
Mhm.
instead he's trying to figure out what all these controls are, and instead of actually reading, he's banging on the console and stuff
In those 2 days, would I have had enough time to refit the S-Tech suit?
Yes.
East.
Oh, you could
Okay,
in that amount of time you could have refit any number of those armors that you wanted to.
Gotcha.
Okay. And what would be the UPBs to do so?
It's not going to cost you any UPBs to
Okay.
adjust them. If you want to
Okay.
break things down, then they're 10% of whatever their initial cost is.
Okay. Well,
So,
I now have a new suit.
or you can simply just have the extra stuff on the ship as just background stuff like, yeah, we have it. We don't really use it, but we have it. Yeah, so you make it back to Absalom Station, and maybe we get the Menagerie coming out of the drift. We get the drift opening up, and the ship flies out, and you we get the sort of docking sequence, and then as you guys come in and get docked and what have you, and finally you guys are on the station, and there is everywhere on Absalom Station to go. But there is one place in particular you have business to go to.
Okay, so it's just going to be an announcement that if you guys want to go off and do whatever, that's fine. You're free, but might be important that we go get paid first before you guys go wander off. So let's go talk to this chick first.
By the way, get some
Good.
comm
That
numbers
sounds like the
too.
most prescient matter.
Might want to get each other's comm numbers too.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Indeed.
how do we get? I know where we parked, but I don't know how to get a hold of everybody. Um,
Okay, so we spend the next
10 years later.
yeah,
10 minutes.
Beep, boop, beep, 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 beep.
My number. All right, let's get 5 other numbers.
So are you
4.
guys? So you guys are heading back over to Paperleaf Key Trading Company. All
And the
right.
entire way, Big Al is sitting next to Chess, backseat driving the worst way possible.
Yeah. Now the only thing we have to drive is this hover truck.
Well, and the inner cycle, because you still have the inner cycle as well, which somebody's probably going to have to take.
Listen, Chess, I know that this is taking up a lot more space, but that does not mean that you should not watch out for that guy on your left. I swear to God.
I
Good,
saw him. I
figured.
just didn't care.
But you get to the offices, and it's the normal routine. You check in, and you wait, and somebody comes and eventually gets you and shows you up to the office and what have you. Jolyn is already there waiting, and she's probably got some tea set out for everybody. She's like, "Come in, have yourself a seat. Would you care for some tea?" And she's like, she sees you, Ohan, and she's like, "Oh, now there's an interesting wrinkle. Not only is Eternity 9 with the Menagerie, but Ohan is as well." That's a very interesting turn of events. And she's like,
Indeed.
My favorite kind.
"Hmm." She's like, I trust you have news.
Yeah. Indeed, we do.
You want the good or the
Found
bad?
is the most important news.
We'll start from the beginning.
Okay, so we arrived on the station. We blew up a bunch of people, and then a bunch of bad people that were still stationed there, like hanging
Bad
out or whatever.
people? Could you be more specific?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the race is. My bad. Um,
Oh, they were.
There's some rock lobsters on there.
Gosh
on
dang
that
it!
ship
Yeah,
there.
they're like the cottons. Worse with multiple
oh,
eggs.
Ginsil.
Yeah,
That's what it was. So
nasty little.
there were these little Ginsil creatures that were like, nah, and we killed them all. And then we scanned the rest of the station, and not another soul but us existed on there. Everybody died.
Well then, that's a bit unfortunate. How's this station looking?
In summary, we bashed down the door and left the door open on our way out.
She smiles. She smiles. She's a little used
Yeah,
to.
it's just a
It's like,
floating metal thing there with nobody there, so I don't know what you want to do with it.
We'll have some people sent out to immediately. We'll send a security detachment as to lead the way. It's like,
If you send security out there, make sure they can speak whatever language those Ginsil people do, 'cause then you might be able to know what they were doing when they were there. We don't have that capability, so we're limited on that knowledge. That's the bad news.
Indeed, there was some gin cell programming found on the computer systems that we were unfortunately unable to translate.
I'm pretty sure it was an inside job.
interesting. Well then, you have done exactly as we had asked, as it asked. Perhaps this will allow us to do a little bit of business with your friend Isig. And she's like, after all, a dummy corporation offers a number of opportunities, particularly one that's out on the frontier edges. She says, "Oh, I will have 7,000 credits transferred to your account, as promised, and you may take a. And perhaps you would do me the one final leg of the mission. It's almost a favor, even. Not just to myself, but to you as well. Perhaps you could take the message to Atomic Frickson in the Marixa Republic and let him know that the station is ours and that we'll be needing to set up shop there. The 7,000 credits are yours either way. I can send another messenger if you don't feel like making the trip. But
Well, yeah, I was personally planning on stopping by and letting him know. Work my way back to the beginning and notifying everybody.
excellent. Perhaps, she says, and you may tell your friend Isig that we're interested in having him arrange moving some of weapons from Patella. I understand Captain Zai makes a point of quality out of his weapons. We don't normally deal with a lot of arms trade, but we have a few potential buyers for specialty items. In any case, you'll need to make arrangements through Atomic Frickson to utilize the station as a drop point. Says if he'll. The idea is that Zai and his people sell weapon. The idea is that Isig and his people move the weapons from Patella and move them to the station, whereupon we take possession of them and move them to our clients. I'm sure Isig may be able to arrange something with your friends on Patella to be able to make it look, oh, I don't know, a little under the radar, or at least look not suspicious in any particular way. After all, if he's hiring individuals with the caliber that you've shown, then his judgment is probably sound when it comes to business.
Yes. Sounds good.
And you may be interested in Eternity, Ohan. Your friend Gadget seems to have a new crew on the Fool's Errand.
Interesting.
The fool's errand lives then.
It's still they still fly, and they're I understand they're making new friends.
The fact that it still flies brings relief to me.
If
I
that's
no
how it's
longer
meant to be.
I no longer feel guilt for abandoning the ship, as involuntary as it was.
My worst theories are out of the window, at least.
So, and she's like, "There's says the 7,000 credits will be transferred as promised, and I will commend you on a job very well done." Says, if you hear anything more about the Jinsol and their activities, I would consider it a favor if you would let me know.
Yeah. Give us your number, and if we hear anything, we'll let you know.
She's like, she takes a minute and she's like, hands you like a data slate with the number on it. This is a number for my offices. You should be able to get a hold of me. It says if you call, she says, I will get back with you as soon as possible if I'm not available at that particular moment. And she's like, but if you'll excuse me, I hate to cut this short, but I do have a meeting. Seems that there is some information, some market research that I've been waiting for that's about to arrive.
I see.
Well, good day to you. Have fun.
So
See you
Big
again.
L turns to E9 and Ohan and like says, "You sure you want to join our crew?" He looks intently, trying to dissuade them from joining.
I am.
He says that out loud, just to be clear on this,
Yeah,
guys.
you've noticed he self narrates.
Despite that thought, I will indeed stay on this crew.
I have nowhere else to go.
And with that, 2 more souls doomed to the web that the Menagerie is caught in. A web of couriers trapped in a time where time bends together and weaves its way never to be found again.
Okay, enough with your narrating. Let's get out of her office and get focused here.
Right, back to the vehicle. Let's talk about your driving.
And you are on Absalom Station, fresh with some fresh credits and plenty of things to spend money on and or do.
Okay, so what I did with the credits, I gave everybody will get 1,000 credits,
1,000 credits.
and then the remainder will go to ship credits.
Right? Does that include Dr. Oglehub?
Okay, he can have some too.
I mean, it's not like he's going to complain. I just need to know for tracking purposes whether he has like money of his own that you've given him or not. Because otherwise, he may have to
forgot
like
about him, my
use.
bad.
Crew.
Because he may have to like start taking on odd jobs and things. Let's
Yeah,
see.
he was a big help, so yeah, he deserves 1,000 as well.
So he'll be. 'Cause when you met him, he literally showed up with the gear that he had and nothing else.
Time to outfit the doctor.
So
Okay, so just states, okay, each of us gets 1,000 credits. And technically, I'll take 2 and put 1 in for the ship, but hey, that's whatever. If you guys want to go shop, do whatever here, that's fine. You can do that. We'll take, I don't know, a day or two to do shopping or whatnot if you guys want to here. And then we'll be off to go talk to Thomas Frickson. That'll be our next thing to do.
all right. You might want to make a note in your menagerie notes as to how much stuff that you guys have. Like you'll need to probably put in that you have. You know what? Let's change this. I'm gonna do this here real quick. I'm gonna go to the loot and I'm gonna put. Or do you have that stuff all on chip inventory?
Was that?
I'm just like trying to figure out where he's been storing the credits the ship has as a whole and extra gear.
Yeah,
Some
he's
menagerie
going-
notes. Oh, and the menagerie character sheet, I guess.
Well,
The
on the
character
character sheet, I've got like there's food and credits.
Yeah,
and
there's an
USB.
equipment table. We don't have anything on it. I don't think.
Well, no, you go to Starship under the Menagerie. Because it doesn't have a character, it's just the Starship. It's the character sheet for the Starship.
Yeah, I have most of that under that cargo passengers section.
No.
Jesus. You have a bunch of MK2 serums of healing.
Yeah. Oliver Byrne bought all that stuff before he left. And then put it in there.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, you guys get to spend credits if you have enough credits to spend, and there are plenty of things to do around here. There's nightclubs, there's bars, there's all kinds of stuff. There's theaters and what have you.
So what does our characters do to, I guess, wind down is the question.
Yeah.
He's going to return to the ship so we could properly establish his quarters and also proceed with essentially spiritually dressing down the ship. And that's also going to be my cue for it's just like, I am terribly sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I am dead exhausted from a long day of work, and I'm coming up on 3 a.m., so I got to get some rest because I got a big day tomorrow.
Hey, you know what? I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and do sign offs and we'll pick up next week and we'll let you go first. Everybody send me your Player's Choice Awards and
Alrighty.
we'll we'll pick up on this next week and what
Before we
have you.
finish, I have one question.
Yes.
And this is there is no preference on this. I'm just questioning. When we left, and this is to the crew, since it was Big Al that entered the ship, did anyone take the stuffed animals and bring it into the ship?
Oh no.
just
You know
figure I'd
what?
ask.
I
Nobody said
you know
This
what?
is just
like retro.
I mean, if anybody feels like it would have
Is that
made sense
loud?
for their character to do that, that's fine.
yep.
If not,
Honestly, Chess would have seen Big Al just walk into the ship and leave the stuffed animals there, and she would have noticed and would have been like, "Ah, he switched again. Everyone's gonna be mad if I don't bring those, so I better get those." So she runs over and grabs them, brings them on the ship, and just leaves them in the cargo area, just laying on the ground.
Okay.
all
That's
right,
nice. I just needed to I just wanted to see which way that was gonna go.
all right, cool. All right, well, let's start sign offs, and we'll start with Ohan, because he's got to get some bedtime. You wanna go next?
Oh,
Sign off.
okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Kapuki. You can't find me. I am too elusive, but I have been our humble pilgrim Ohan, who is a lost wanderer in a strange land, yet also somewhat familiar. I love you all. Have a great night.
Alrighty, then let's go from there to let's go with Captain Revenge. Why don't you go next?
It's Zedero. And you can find me on YouTube at Captain Revenge. It's CaptinReveng. Drop the last A and last E because I don't know how to spell. Play a really smart character on here, not very smart in real life. So, catch me on here every Friday night. Almost every Friday night. And there. No more Twitch, just YouTube. You're on out.
All right, cool.
All right, cool. Joe, I need your Player's Choice Award, and let's go to Chivalrous E9. You want to go next?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Shivers. I play E9, the robot who's obsessed with robot liberation here on the Menagerie. You can find me on Twitter at Shivers underscore. Um, and you'll catch me here every Friday.
All right, cool. JJ, you want to go next?
Sure. Hey, this is Alistair. I wasn't in this one. But I'm glad that Allie isn't going to have a meltdown later. That being said, you can catch Rogue Gray Fox on Facebook, and you can catch me at JJW Voice on Twitter. Mostly I do some voice acting stuff on Mondays, and then you catch me here every Friday around 11, mostly 12-ish at this point, for the Menagerie. Love you guys. Till next time.
Awesome. Psychopathic, you're up.
Hi, people. I'm Scott. I played Captain Chess. Yeah, I'm not as great as a captain, but I'm learning. Hey, we got people. We survived. We turned the quest. We're all right. We're making it. Okay, so every other Saturday, I'm in the Bitter Ends, which is the Apocalypse World Water World session thing. We don't have it this Saturday because I remembered. It's the next Saturday, but whatever. And I play Daddy Castiel, who lacks the capabilities of properly driving a boat and drowned everybody. Maybe. I don't know. Watch next time and you'll figure out what happens next. I don't know. Maybe somebody will die when they walk in through a door or something. I don't know. We'll see. And then Sunday we got Cosmos, where I play Fagara, where he's doing whatever he's doing and waiting to see the tree, I guess. I don't know. And then we have Anduin, who royally botched everything up, and everybody's mad at him, so he decided to go fix up some armor to get in everybody's good graces. Let's hope. Okay. Then we come to Monday on the Fire Strike, where I play Xander. Well, I used to play Xander. Hopefully I still get to play Xander, because he was doing research and the library blew up. Hopefully I get to still play him. We'll see. And then Tuesday, I play in Numenera. Don't have a clue what my character's name is because I have horrible memory. But he punches things and has no armor, and I was contemplating naming him No Name. Might end up being that way. Hey, might be fun. And then Wednesday, we got Hinch to Minch, where I play Knight. And, well, so we botched up a boss fight, and I took the complete guilt of it. Went back to our supervisor, and the supervisor said, "It's fine. Go to bed. It's okay." So I went to bed. And then the big boss dude was like, "Come join me or die." Yeah. And then, we don't have Thursdays anymore. So that means we're done. That was everything. Yay.
Well, that leaves it to me. And I'm going to give everybody gets 100 experience points for the session. And player's choice tonight was Big Al. AL, give yourself an extra 50 XP. And do. And then that brings it to my sign off. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Just a King Zerat. You can catch me here on Monday nights for the Fire Strike, my favorite group of space pirates, space terrorists, and never-do-wells. You can catch me here Fridays for this one, for the Ballad of the Menagerie. Hey, are all the big boys off running around taking care of things and you can't hire them because they're too goddamn busy? Well, the Menagerie's there and, they need money, so they'll take on jobs. Or you can catch me every other Saturday night, as mentioned, for the Bitter Ends, our Wave World sessions, our Water World style game with significantly less misogyny. And you can catch me on Sundays for the Tales from the Cosmos, where I play Squin, the Daring Doer, a goblin swashbuckler. And that's going to be all kinds of fun and interesting because, yeah. I'm going to try my hand at being slightly more heroic than I normally am. Actually, a lot more heroic, considering I often play semi-villainous. At least sketch. But this character I'm going to try to be more heroic with. So, let's see. And also, if you hold your jaw just right, the moons align, the ley lines shift just the right way. And even more rare than that, I have time and sleep in me. You can catch me on my other channel of Zerat, where I mostly play video games. I've been thinking about doing some reviews on shows and movies and stuff. So I've never tried my hand at that, and it might be kind of fun. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. If you are watching on Twitch and you want to go back and watch the replay, you want to see try to hear what it was that Chess mumbled in the background and replay that a few times. Or if you want to, go back and laugh at the long pause as I look something up that I looked up 2 days ago and can't remember off the top of my head. You can catch us on YouTube at Paradise Theater. However, if you're watching on YouTube and you want to catch it while the excitement is just right there and nobody knows what's going to happen and Uncle Bob cannot spoil the ending for you, well, you can catch us on Twitch at Paradise Theater with an underscore between each word. And if you want to get caught up on, some scheduling, a little bit of community interaction, I believe we're instigating and or at least stirring the pot between a couple of other Twitter accounts. So yeah, apparently we're getting involved in some low-level drama here. That should be pretty amusing. Or, if you want some kind of memes that are, I don't know, they're some sort of temperature. It's
They're
almost
hot memes.
those kinds. You can catch us at Pear Theater on Twitter. And with that said, that is all that we have for tonight. Let's all say goodbye and get out of here. Goodbye. Goodbye.